What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another wrestling news video. And this is episode 131 of the SNA podcast, the Wrestling News Part 44, where Super Ninja Austin's going to talk about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors where you SNA fans need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article on November 18th, 2023. And we're gonna start off with looking at the full card of Full Gear later on tonight, and then according to this Fightful article about tonight's AEW presents the latest pay-per-view event, which is Full Gear 2023. AEW's fourth pay-per-view in as many months as the company continues to steadily add events to its calendar. 11 matches has been announced for AEW Full Gear, 8 for the main card and 3 for the 0-hour pre-show. And MJF looks likely to once again open and close the card, as he's set to defend the ROH World Tag Team Championship against Austin and Colton Gunn on the 0-hour alongside conditional friend Samoa Joe. Additional 0-hour matches include additional 0-hour matches include Eddie Kingston defending the ROH title against Jay Lethal in House of Black, Buddy Matthews taking on Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli. MJF will defend the AEW World Heavyweight Championship later on against against the Guns teammate, Bullet Club Gold teammate, I should say, Switchblade Jay White, who stole the physical belt recently and has been carrying it around ever since. In doing so, he becomes approximately the 8,000th heel to do that exactly. I think thing leading up to a title shot. And then as progressing through the lineup, the increasingly popular Timeless Tony Storm attempts to defeat Hikaru Shida, reclaiming the AEW Women's World Championship. In other title defense action, it's the international champion Orange Cassidy renews hostilely with former title holder Jon Moxley in a match from All Out's main event, sure to be just as heated as the Texas Death Match between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland following Swerve's unwelcomed visit to Hangman's Page's house or home, Page's home, as well as the trios encounter pinning Sting and Darby Allin and Rated R superstar Adam Copeland against Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. And rounding out the announced card is a tag team showdown between the Young Bucks, the Young Bucks, and the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. A three-way TBS title match involving champions Chris Statlander and the two challengers Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and a four-way affair for the AEW Tag Team title match involving champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill against the LaFal- the LaFalchions in governable FTR and the Kings of the Black Throne. And what do you think about this card for tonight's AEW Full Gear? Who do you think is going to win these matches respectively? Let me know down in the comments below. And we also going to hear the announcement of the new signing of AEW. And it's going to be going to be one of the biggest and hottest free agents in all of professional wrestling. And I sure hope so about that in the matter. But there's speculations of who could possibly be. Like, it could be like top names such as Will Ospreay or Rob Van Dam or Mercedes Moné or a Zack Sabre Jr. or it can be who else was the other biggest free agent? Another top five. Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey. Like, it could be one of them five. It could be one of them five wrestlers. It could be that's the five. Yeah, five. Or it may be a wrestler that's been recently released, but then again, they only have not even 20 days. 30 days. I mean, to get back into getting back into a squared circle outside of WWE. Getting back, except this time outside of WWE, like the likes of Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, or even Dolph Ziggler. I think they could make a jump to AEW. They just have to wait for another month, which I'm thinking will probably be at the end of December, sometime in December. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next. Moving on to the next news now, and it's the former Bella twins, now known as the Garcia twins, Nikki and Brie and Nikki Garcia, former of the former Bella twins, on not seeing eye to eye anymore with WWE. The thought of the Garcia twins, formerly known as the Bella twins, no longer operating under the WWE umbrella, is still unfathomable to some, considering their long-standing associations with the promotion. Now that Nikki and Brie have moved on to a next chapter of their careers, they have opened up about the circumstances that led to their departure from WWE. Speaking with the twins revealed that they exited because they got to a point where they just didn't feel e- ener- energ- energetically, uh, in energet, energetically. That's what I'm trying to pronounce. Say correctly. Energetically aligned anymore with the WWE. The the Garcias further revealed that they began contem- contemplate con- contemplating their WWE departure nearly a year before their near contracts ended, recalling a moment when they looked at each other and knew it was time to move on without so much as under like, like uttering like a a world like I mean a word uttering the word that there was a moment where her and there's a moment where this is what they say like in the world saying this. Oh, this is what they said. There was this is they said there was a moment where her and I looked at each other and kind of felt, you know what, we are all not seeing eye to eye anymore. Nikki recalled. We didn't even have to say it. We could just look at each other and feel it. Another part of their reasoning to leaving WW to leave WWE's creative freedom, a priv- a privilege that several others have previously sought, who sought who sought after cutting ties with WWE. We like saying we we get sad at times to not be a part of what the women are doing over there, and we will always support our women of the WWE. But it's been amazing to be in meetings or have these opportunities and be able to say yes or no for yourself. Like they explain like we're in this place of reclaiming our power and making our own decisions and not having to ask permission. It's crazy to feel that at 39, as part of their journey to reclaiming power, the Garcias will host the Prime Video's new twin love reality dating series, which premiered Friday, November 17th, which was last night. And hopefully hopefully it was a really good show, and hopefully you guys watched it and enjoyed it. For those who watched it, like hopefully when y'all watched it, y'all enjoyed their new series, and they're gonna bring in some good ratings. And what do you think about the having a new reality show? And what's your thoughts about WWE, the former the former Bella Twins were former Bella Twins did not feel WWE anymore. They didn't have the same like they didn't have that same had the same vibes like they used to, and they didn't have the same they didn't fe- they didn't have that feeling like they used to have, like have that have when that at the times when they were excuse me, when they were end up like when they used to be. Like they didn't feel they didn't feel that same magic like from like when their times when they were like they didn't feel that moment and feel that excitement like they used to. Like it's not like the same. Like they that's the reason why they left. And I kind of agree in a way. Like they didn't feel I guess the same WWE they wrestled in from the last 15 years. And then I guess it's for the best for them to move on. And also, they said they will still support the women like they know or the new coming women that they're making a name for themselves, which which they but that's still great to do that. Like even from afar, like because you're showing support. Like whatever you're watching WWE or All Elite Wrestling or any other promotion, you you're gonna make some support. You're gonna be that support for the men and women over into their. I mean, for every single women in the division, I should say. I mean, men too, like men and of of their of their support of in the squared circle, of course. And then it's also been noted that both Nikki and Brie want to get back into the ring, and and then I into a previous video, but that's a story for another day. But what do you think? What's next for the Bella Twins, and and when do you think? And what do you think about the? And what do you think about? And what do you think? What do you think about the what's next for the Bella Twins? And what do you think about them having their reality show, being host of the reality show on Prime Video? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the next wrestling news. It's Ronda Rousey makes Ring of Honor debut after being backstage for AEW Collision. UFC Hall of Famer and three-time WWE Women's Champion Ronda Rousey reportedly wrestled at at Friday's AEW / Ring of Honor taping, or ROH for short, and will make her Ring of Honor TV debut on the next episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club, airing on Thanksgiving Day. On on Friday night, PW Insider reportedly uh, re- reported that the word backstage on WWE SmackDown was that Rousey was like uh, was likely to work for Ring of Honor in the near future, and that she was present backstage at the Friday's AEW tapings in Los Angeles with her ring gear. As the story unfolded, it it turned out that Rousey was actually in action teaming with longtime best friend Marina Shafir against uh, Ring of ROH Women's champion Athena and Billy Starks. During the ROH taping that followed, a live AEW Rampage, that the bout was a rematch from the previous evening when the four horsewomen wrestled each other on a wrestling revolver show, adding significant gas to the Rousey to AEW. Like ROH fired ROH fire ROH AW/ROH fire prior to that match. Rousey like she a significant gas to the Rousey to AEW/ROH fire prior to that match. No rhyme, pun intended. Uh, Rousey and Shafir teamed up to take on Taya Valkyrie. Another Taya Valkyrie and D. Brian and Brian Kendrick at the Lucha Room. But yeah, Taya Valkyrie's another fellow AEW wrestler. Lucha Varoom show earlier in the week, like PW Insider or PWI for short, went on to note that such as Rousey's coming out to her commentary UFC, like not customary, not commentary, customary UFC and WWE entrance and song joined like Joan Jett's bad reputation and well as the crowd reacting uh, favorably to the surprising debut, completing with "Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea" chants right from the start, and contract and contract like information and been reported between Rousey and AEW or ROH, but this surprise seems unlikely to quell speculations that she might indeed be Tony Khan's big free agent announcement at Full Gear. And I guess, yeah, according to this article, I don't think that leaves her out of becoming the big free agent who signs with Tony Khan. So I guess she's kind of a rule out because why would I'll say she's kind of a rule out. I mean, she could be signing with Tony Khan and be a big announcement, but hearing from this news, I don't know because this is already being a big announcement of this Ring of Honor tapings, like with these sources and fans. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna say it again. With these sources and fans reporting that Ronda Rousey made her huge ROH debut to like to be the exact like that she came out there and team with her longtime four horsewoman UFC best friend Marina Shafir to take on former WWE star and current Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena and Billy Starks in a tag team match, which it's pre-taped on, which you can watch on Honor Club the Honor Club streaming platform on exactly Thanksgiving night. And 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 they didn't say what the results are, but I'm already predicting that it's going to be Rousey and Marina Shafir's night. So they're going to win the match, and and I think that, and I think, and I, and I would say I would think that that Ronda Rousey could sign with AEW, like especially if the price is right, and then if she's convinced of joining Tony Khan, she she will probably would be like on AEW along with being on ROH. And I believe she will do this for because of her best friend being on there, like as like excuse me, yeah. I want being the simple fact that it's her best friend being there, and she wants to show some support and wants to team with her, and then also Ronda Rousey also want to check out Tony Khan's promotion and like Ring of Honor slash AEW, and now Tony Khan is the proud owner of the ROH brand. Like we could, yeah, possibly see this happening after she makes this surprising debut, even though it's going to be pre-taped in and Thanksgiving, and I'm sorry I didn't give the warning. Like I was saying, this was the total spoiler news now. And if you are like if you do not want to hear these news, I'll recommend you guys to skip at least like 21 minutes to 27 minutes out of this video, or at least or 28 minutes, I should say. Yeah, I'll recommend you to the skip 21 minutes out of 28 minutes out of this video. And then what do you think about Ronda Rousey being possibly possibly signed with the ROH brand and soon to be All Elite? Sound off in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the next news now, and it's some MJF news now, as he officially chooses partner for AEW Full Gear Zero Hour for his ROH tag title defense. And right here it says, like, Maxwell Jacob Freeman will officially not be alone in defending his ROH tag team championship on Zero Hour ahead of AEW Full Gear on Saturday. MJF will team with Samoa Joe after Joe helped the champion against the Bullet Club Gold during a live episode of AEW Rampage on Friday. All Joe required is a future shot at MJF's title to return for his assistance on Saturday, and the champion finally agreed, sealing the deal and handshake. MJF was looking for a partner for Full Gear after successfully defending the titles in a handicapped match against the Righteous at Wrestle Dreams. His original partner with whom he won the championships with. Adam Cole was uh, injured, helping MJF out in his AEW title defense on the same show at Full Gear. At full, at the same show at Full Gear, MJF will put double duties, defending the ROH Tag Team Championships as well as the his AEW as his AEW World Championship with against which is against the BCG's Jay White, which stands for Bullet Club Gold, of course, in what will be likely be the main event. The the ROH Tag Team Championship match joins multiple 0 hour matches of head of the main Full Gear card. Claudio Castagnoli taking on uh, Buddy Matthews, and then we got following with following a Blackpool Combat Club and House of Black confrontation on AEW Full Gear. But we already recapped that on last night's video. We also have Eddie Kingston against which there was announced that was the match of Claudio Castagnoli and Buddy Matthews on Rampage, and we have Eddie Kingston defending his ROH championship against Jay Lethal, and that was announced afterwards on last night's live Rampage. And yeah, who thinks gonna win these matches on this card for both 0 hour and the main show? I would definitely would watch it, but I just don't have the funds at the moment of ordering the pay-per-view. And if I did, I would have gotten prepared. But if anything comes through, like anytime right before the pay-per-view, I would definitely gladly will order the pay-per-view and watch it and make the review, and I would change my plans of making tomorrow's episode of the SNA podcast Wrestling News 100 episode 132 and 133, and I would make 132 tonight, on AEW Full Gear review, which will be my 5th time reviewing a pay-per-view. Well, I would say my fifth time overall, but until then, I'm just probably not going to make any kind of reviews because I would say I'm not sure if I'll make any reviews on that, because for the fact that I can, unless the AEW already have it, you can watch it on Max, on Bleachers Report. If you can watch it on Bleachers Report on Max, that'll be really good, and that'll be really good to see. If I can watch it if I can watch it on Max, because they do have Bleachers Report, and if I can watch it that way, as long as I have the streaming service subscription, the streaming service subscription, and if it's free that way, which I'm not sure if it is, I think you have to pay extra. Even so, even for having Bleachers Report, I think you still have to pay $50 or $60. Until if I get it anytime soon, anything comes through sooner rather than later, I would gladly order it, and then I'll be watching it, and I'm gonna review it. I would say maybe you'll see me be doing reviews in the upcoming 2024, at Full Gear. Or not Full Gear. That's tonight. Full Gear's tonight. My bad. I mean AEW Revolution. Okay, I was just joking about Revolution. I mean, I'm serious about Revolution. Maybe you'll see me doing that, whether if they have it exclusively on Max or on pay per view, because I'm gonna do a start of reviewing pay per view, and who knows, maybe I'll review World's End on at December next month at December 30th. But yeah, stay tuned to keep watching the SNA podcast. It's gonna keep growing bigger and bigger by the minute, and then as soon as I get the pay per view, as soon as I'll probably start off with AEW's pay per view with Revolution. What if they get to Max or on or even you have to keep ordering pay per views from them, but which I think they're gonna finally have them on Max. But yeah, we're gonna see about that. And I'm gonna ask you this question: do you think they're gonna be on Max, or do you think they're gonna continue for you to pay for the pay per view, like even for having a the streaming service, and like still have to pay the $50 or $60 for the pay per view? But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that in the comments down below. We're gonna move on to the. We got some updates on expect WWE return date for Sheamus following shoulder injury, and we got some health updates about Sheamus now, as Sheamus is reportedly set to return to WWE programming on the November 24th episode of Friday Night SmackDown, which would be the go home show of the show ahead of the November 25th Survivor Series event. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Sheamus will be appearing on the show, confirming earlier reports that the Celtic Warrior is being advertised locally to appear to 3 upcoming episodes of SmackDown. The immediate return of Sheamus has sparked discussions of the former WWE champion probably joining the Cody Rhodes led band, joining the Cody Rhodes led band of baby faces in the War Games match at Survivor Series. With Drew McIntyre recently turning heel, there has been speculations about the Scottish Warrior joining the Judgment Day's War Games team, like at the PLE in Chicago, in the event that the the four that the 4x4 match gets converted into a five to five match. Cody could be in need of an equalizer, and currently names such as the return of uh, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, LA Knight, and even CM Punk has been doing the rounds as the possible fifth member, like from a storyline perspective. Like Sheamus would make a ton of sense considering his long-standing friendship and rivalry with Drew McIntyre, whom he tagged with earlier this year ahead of their three-way match against Gunther at WrestleMania 39 at the beginning of this year. Sheamus has been out of action with a shoulder injury since the August 24th episode of Friday Night SmackDown, where he wrestled Adam Copeland in what turned out to be the former Edge's final WWE match, with Sheamus reportedly due to become a free agent in early 2024. The former three-time WWE champion could end up following Copeland to AEW next year, where several other WWE uh, life, lifers have also found a new home. And two questions, but before I say anything, I'll say this kind of would make sense for considering he's friends with Drew McIntyre and bitter rivals, and Cody Rhodes could have Sheamus to use against the Scottish Warrior, like with him wanting to join the Judgment Day. And also, what do you think about Sheamus could possibly being yeah, and also, yeah, what lots of sense, like along. I was like, and I was not, and when I was thinking last night, I was like, why would he would come to SmackDown? And he was like, and with him being telling Nick Aldis saying he was in the neighborhood and he thought he might stop by and see if anybody wanted to join him in Team Cody. And I was like, and then I realized, I was like, it looks like we could see LA Knight joining Team Cody against the Judgment Day, making it 5-on-5. But then again, I don't know will be LA Knight. It could be him or Kevin Owens. Maybe it could be Kevin Owens because, for the simple fact that he has associations with both Cody and Sami Zayn, so it could be him. And he has hate for the Judgment Day, but he looks like he's going to be in some kind of a feud with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in the meantime. And then LA Knight's going to be in the meantime being in his feud with the Bloodline, of course. But yeah, but what do you think? Do you think Sheamus is going to be the fifth member? And I would say if he does, I think he's going to be at the last minute if they can't get Randy Orton to be clear enough to compete on time for Survivor Series War Games. Well, I think it's still going to be Randy Orton because why would Cody Rhodes make a reference to that, like saying, telling the Judgment Day, like, you have friends, like me and Jay have friends too. Well, like I said before, and I'll say it again, it's Cody because for the fact that he's been friends with the Viper for 15 years now. So I would say it's definitely going to be Randy Orton. But yeah, but I would say the backup wrestler, I'm not backup, I'll say, but for the backup star who's gonna replace the Viper, I'll probably say would be the Celtic Warrior. But that's only if Randy Orton's still not clear enough to compete, not at least to be on Survivor Series War Games. And it'll be clear enough to compete at Survivor Series in the War Games match, along with Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Seth freaking Rollins, and Cody Rhodes. But I'm gonna let you. And then two, do you think the Celtic Warrior is gonna leave WWE for All Elite Wrestling, just like his best friend Copeland, did this year in October? Y'all let me know also about that in the comments down below because both him and Copeland have their last match with the Stanford-based promotion, exactly 3 months ago, in a well-received, really great match. It was a well-received and a good send-off for the Rated R superstar to end his run with WWE, and I even made a review on that and gave him and I highly praised him for putting on a great match like they just did. It was very it was very I would say legendary, but it was very I would say it was very amazingly it was amazingly impressive. Like that enough that it looked like a pay-per-view match, like a non-title main event match, like that that's worth of being into the match, onto the match. Yeah. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments below, and we're gonna move on to the next news now. And, and but yeah, before I get to there, yeah, it looks like, and if he does leave, it probably would be in the same show where he last wrestled the wrestler who last time wrestled into the ring. But that's probably in 2024. That's probably gonna be sometime in the middle of 2024, if you ask me. But we'll move on to the next news now. Is WWE Hall of Famer Booker T gets candidate about hitting Jerry Lawler with a with a monitor. Yeah, that's right. One one doesn't become one doesn't become a five-time WCW champion like Booker T without busting a TV monitor or two over someone's head. And that's exactly what Booker T did during his King Booker run on in August 2007 episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, hitting the future broadcast partner Jerry the King Lawler with the monitor during a match after Lawler dared to touch Booker's crown, like on the Hall of Fame, Booker, on the Hall of during the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker was asked about the moment by a fan and admitted may have he may have gone a tad too far with his treatment of Lawler that day. At the same time, Booker believes it may have been re, representative of his mindset at the time, as he was only a few weeks away from leaving WWE and joining TNA. He said, "I should have went to jail that day," Booker T said. Albert, like I'll bet, I'll bet clearly in kayfabe fashion, I'll bet in kayfabe fashion, I should have went to jail like that day because that was a crime. What I did to Lawler, it was a crime. It really was. When I go back and watch that, I go, man, I didn't have a heart. I really didn't at that time. I had lost it by the time I become King Booker at the point of the run, as well as he had as a run as he had really ticked me off that day. That was my final match in WWE. I left the company after that. I was really upset. Maybe that's what I was. Maybe it came out that night on Lawler when I look back on it. that final pay-per-view was with Hunter, and I left the I mean when was with Hunter, with pay-per-view with Hunter, and I left the company after that. I feel bad about that too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, King. I'm really sorry. But yeah, what do you thought about him hitting Jerry the King Lawler in the head with a TV monitor, like going a little too far, like taking it out of frustration of his exit with the company in favor with total nonstop action at the time, which is about to be once again over in Impact, and I believe will be in January of 2024. But well, what do y'all think? But yeah, what do y'all think about this callback from a fan from his latest edition of the Hall of Fame podcast? And yeah, this is very some shocking. This is some very shocking. What's that called? Review. This is some very shocking reveal from the five-time WCW champion and Hall of Famer. I, but yeah, sound off in the comment section right down below what you think about that. And we're gonna move on to the next news now. But yeah, that's very crazy. Like I was like, he really did that. Like, and he had a few weeks getting ready to join TNA. Like, wow, like that's insanely impossible. Like usually nowadays, like when you even when you're legitimately mad with the company, you would have left sooner rather than finishing up your rather than waiting on later on, like after finishing up with the company, like being in your final match and then leave with like before your contract expires and get ready to sign with the other promotion. Like you're signing with whether it be in TNA Impact or AEW, New Japan, AAA, CMLL, NWA, MLW, or whoever your company you're gonna sign with. Up next, we got another from one Hall of Famer to another WWE Hall of Famer. This time being Kurt Angle explains how his father inspired his this his discipline, and then this is where he says like during an appearance on the the true on the true George on the true Jordy on the True Geordie podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle was asked if his discipline was inspired by his late his late father. Angle lost his dad when he was 16 years old. He was the main reason the light bulb the light bulb went off, and like saying like Kurt Angle noted that like he was the reason like the light bulb went off in my head, like Angle said. Before my dad died, I wasn't focused. I actually wasn't doing that well. In that documentary, like Angle, like documentary Angle, like they say like I was like like I said I was a great athlete since when I was born. That's that's not true. I was the worst athlete in my family, and that wasn't bad because everyone in my family were good athletes, but I lost a lot when I was younger. I cried a lot. I was a real crybaby. My my family doubted if I'd ever be a good uh, I'll be good at sports. And when my dad died, like when my dad died in my freshman year of high school, he told me this told me this is the year before he this is a year before the year before he died. He said, "You're gonna be the one," and I didn't understand him, but he knew for some reason that I'd break out of this crybaby stage and end up being a great performer. So I didn't understand what he meant. And when he passed away the next year, I thought my dad said I was gonna be the one. I going to be the one. I gotta start working hard now. So I was motivated for him because he's the one that told me you're going to be the one to pull the family out and make the name famous. And I did and I exactly and he said I did and my dad was right. Like Angle like Angle who discussed his father figure from the relationship with the TKO chairman Vince McMahon last year, saying saying went on to say that he didn't know how or why his dad become an alcoholic. However, the former WWE champion said it didn't really have any effect as his father would still still show up to work and go to church every Sunday. Angle mentioned that his father drinking was always inter intertwined. I mean, intertwined with the sports. The Olympic gold medalist described his father was a functional alcoholic. And what do you think about that? Which I'm not gonna say too. I'm not gonna say anything more about that because like I have my respects for the wrestlers and their family members, and also what do you think about Kurt Angle admitting that his father was a motivator for him and discipline for his uh for his success is making his name famous and the rest of the family famous, I should say, into the Angle family. And when he got into amateur wrestling in the Olympics, when he got older, and then he won the Olympic gold medalist into the 1996 Olympics. And then a couple years later, he went to WWE back in 1999, stayed there for 6.5 years until 2006, and then leaving due to him being addicted to painkillers. And he refused to go to the rehab, but he ended up going there anyways after leaving the company. Like, but it was only like a few months later, and then that's when he joined TNA in 2007. And he'd been there until then for like a good 10 years until going back to WWE. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about what made Kurt Angle a success in the first place. On to this interview from the on the True Geordie podcast. And I would say, I I would say this was a very inspirational. I would say I would say this is probably a very inspirational. Yeah, it's a very inspirational story. Like it's saying, like if anybody can do it, like you sure can. You can do it. Like, but you just need that motivation. You just need that discipline. You just need that give you that understanding on you can do something if you put your mind into it. Like when you do it, like you cannot let anything tell you different and say otherwise. Like you can and you will. Like if you have a desire on, especially if you have a desire on something. Excuse me, my bad. But yeah. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next news now. Is former WWE referee Mike Chioda names one thing he's never seen Vince McMahon do. These days, Vince McMahon is known for more than his role. I mean, more than his iron rules at atop WWE for many years, including selling a lot of stock recently in a bunch of controversy regarding his treatment of women in the workplace. He's also become known for his in his India is idio the idiosin indi indio oisin Cinecray, Cinecray, crises, Cinecray, crazy, I believe, crises, Cinecracies, and the Cinecracies, like especially when it comes to food, and a idiocy like comes when it comes to food, with Vince McMahon said to largely eat steak and look down on his employees like Bruce Pritchard and who didn't eat as well. The topic of Vince McMahon and food come up on Monday mailbag when former WWE referee Mike Chioda was asked if he have ever seen McMahon eat something that could be classified as junk food. Chioda proceeded to tell a story of him and former WWE ring announcer Tony Tony Chimmel, or Tony Kimmel, I should say. The Tony, I think it's Tony Kimmel. I always file it, file it, mean, the will file will file it, me, minung baked potato and asparagus. In other words, McMahon had no cheat meal at at least that Kyoto saw. He said there were always all these protein bars that set up in his office, protein shakes. If he wanted Kyoto, I mean, if he wanted, Kyoto said all healthy sugar honey iced tea, but he didn't say sugar honey iced tea, the initials, bro. Like all the healthy shit, bro. Ev- Every every night his steaks were uh, medium and rare steaks. They'd get it from the best steakhouses. They they would either they would get it from catering, or they would get it sent from one of the best steakhouses. Like Bruno would get it, uh, and and it was always something healthy. And he and Triple H and Shane and Stephanie, they all ate healthy as far as every every time in that office. It was always healthy, good food. And what do you think about this confession from Mike Chioda of when his time as a referee in WWE on what Vince McMahon eats, like which is nothing but healthy stuff and food products that give you protein, basically. Like in at least in Kyoto's eye, he said like he never ate anything cheap, like any junk food whatsoever, which which that's kind of shocking. Like for I mean, not that's kind of shocking. Like you would never eat it. And that's yeah, very shocking. Like for someone that is worth billions of dollars. Like they, how I don't know how he can eat. Maybe more. I would say maybe he's like one of them old school guys that would eat more healthier than trying to live a better life and not trying to waste their lives away of eating something that's not healthy and that's gonna be a health problem in the future. Like which I don't think he would have any health issues just because eating like a couple of candy bars or even some bag of chips. Like, but I would say maybe this explains one of the reasons why still he's not really don't have that much health problems. Like he unless if it's like an injury, but other than that, like it seems like he's having a he's he's doing really well as a really well with that side of his side of things. Other than uh, like something that's outside of his business, other than outside of him being chairman in WWE, with so many controversies and scandals, but and I made him retire. But anyways, enough about that. Like, but what you thought about this? Like about this news story from Mike Chioda about Vince McMahon eating? Yeah. About this, y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna, along with the likes with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon as well. We're gonna move on to the next news now. Is we could we we have some more Kurt Angle news now. Is he that Kurt Angle like shares what he thinks is his greatest natural gift, and it says in that same interview with the True Geordie, I mean podcast, uh, the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, who was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017, was asked to describe his most natural gift as an athlete. My and he said my work ethic. My work ethic, Kurt Angle said, I was a good athlete. I was the best athlete, but I was a pretty good opponent's tired. Good at getting my. I was good at making my opponents tired. That's what he said. So the harder trained, the better, well conditioned I got. The better chance I have at getting those guys tired and beating them, so that was that was the whole idea in 1995 and 1996 during world champion the world championships. We in the Olympic games was to wear my opponent was to wear my opponents down, and it worked like extremely well. Like Angle, who won gold in freestyle wrestling in the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, with Atlanta, Georgia, with a with a sur, with a severely injured neck, said he took e- exhaust training like around 5 months after briefly quitting amateur wrestling in 1994. I mean, quitting amateur wrestling in 1994. Yeah, I'm right. The former WWE champion explained that it was almost a form of torture. He went on to say that he would condense various workouts into one. His first workout would include would include doing a 6 mile run in under 38 minutes, and 20 to 100 meter hill sprints with someone on his back. His, his second exercise was a wrestling workout for around 2.5 hours, and with his third being focused on strength and conditioning. Well, what do you think about him revealing his what's his nature gift? I mean, not nature, natural gift, I should say, with a L. Drop the E, of course. But yeah, Kurt. What you thought about Kurt Angle's natural gift being tiring his opponents out? Sound off in the comments below about that. And we're gonna move on to the next wrestling news now. Is okay. We got some former WWE and AEW official Mike Chioda names star he wishes he could have worked with. And he says right here, having spending over 3 decades working for WWE, referee Mike Chioda may had the chance with countless amount of wrestlers. However, during the latest Monday Monday bell bag with Mike Chioda, the veteran official revealed the one name he would like to have worked with that he never did, and said, "I'd have to say Sting." He revealed, even though two the the two men spent the major the most majority of, I mean, not, I won't say most, I would say just the majority of the careers working for different promotions. Kyoto was working for WWE during Sting's run in the during his run with the company, but never got the chance to uh, officiate one of his matches. And as Sting is now coming towards the end of his run as an in-ring talent set to retire at AEW Revolution next year, it doesn't look like Kyoto will get the chance un, unless like something drastic change Kyoto unless something drastic changes of Kyoto hung up his striped shirt retirement from active refereeing not not too long ago. In fact, Kyoto's referee retirement coincident coincided with that of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Kyoto, the extra man in the Flair last ever match in 2022. However, the phrase of wrestling says "never say never," which that's always the catchphrase for any wrestler and every wrestler that's in the industry. But it says right here, it's always is always lingering in wrestling. Like Kyoto was worked for Tony Khan's company in the past, most recently at 2022's Double or Nothing, and under the right circumstances could always make his final dream come true. And I have two questions once again. One, two questions on one news article, I should say, for the second time. What do you think about this reveal from Mike Chioda not ever refereeing or officiating into Sting's matches? Like not in WWE, not in AEW, like and also like and yeah, that's wild. Like you would expect him to be one of those matches, even on the episode of Monday Night Raw, but he said not even that, like even refereeing that, and it's kind of a shame. And I'll say, and it's mostly WWE's fault for not putting Sting in not really in that much matches in his run in WWE, like because he only been on a very few matches until a few years later he left the company, like when they forced him to retire because of a injury he sustained, like when he faced Seth freaking Rollins when he was the WWE champion at the time. And do you think that he could have a dream come true with him refereeing the Stingers match in his final match, which I believe Tony Khan will give that call if he sees this. If he sees Mike Chioda's podcast, like he'll probably give him a call and come back to the All Elite promote at least for one night only for Revolution to call to call Sting's or officiate Sting's final match, possibly with the Nature Boy. Well, it'll probably be a little. It would kind of be. Excuse me. It would be kind of be controversial though. At the same time, like if he has his match with Ric Flair, so I don't know if it'll be Ric Flair, but hopefully Mike Chioda will referee the match. Do you think he will have a chance to do so? Y'all sound off in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the. We're like uh we have some more news about why Bully Ray wants to see the Bloodline back together for WWE WrestleMania, and then and it says right here, according to this Wrestling Inc. article, news article, it says the Bloodline is certainly isn't what it used to be. Well, after Sami Zayn really put in motion the the de- the de- the duration of the ones like dominant family faction earlier this year, at the Royal Rumble, but that's not stopping Bully Ray from ad, of advo, advocating for the group to get back together in full in the not not too distant future, and said, "I want to see the pomp, the pomp, the circumstance, the the grandeur of the grand the grandeur of that in that entire bloodline entrance. I want the bloodline at 100% hitting on all side Silenders with Cody Rhodes as far behind the right ball as he can possibly be," Bully Ray explained on a recent episode of the Busted Open Radio. Like like every time, everything is coming up roses, and all of a sudden, I want him to be lamb, lamb, lambasted out of nowhere with with a with a dose of reality, and that dose of reality is the bloodline back together in full force. He added, I want to see the family back together. The Usos would follow their honorary Us out of the doors at Night of Champions, leaving Reigns behind with just Solo watching his back, and Paul Heyman still the counseling member. But while main event Jey Uso has stayed away, finding a home on WWE Raw, and even a tag team title run there with Cody Rhodes, Jimmy Uso has come back to the tribal chief once again, doing his bidding, and perhaps signaling a reunion of the bloodline down the road. But what do you think, about Bully Ray's? Bully Ray wants to see this, and what do you think about Bully Ray predicting that the bloodline's going to be back together again by WrestleMania 40? I don't know about that, because there's rumors speculating that Jey Uso is going to team. I mean, not the team, going to battle it out with his twin brother Jimmy Uso in a huge WrestleMania dream match, and I would say hopefully they will have Jey Uso up. When they have Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso, they'll have their father be the special guest referee, which was was supposed to be a payback when they were supposed to originally face each other back in September. With but the plans were leaked before WWE had a chance to announce it, and that's why they had to cancel it, because at a meet and greet with Rikishi, it was announced from the from the from the from the from the man who was running the meet and greet, announced this on the sign that of referring to Rikishi, which I'm not sure why would he do that, because that spoiled the surprise for him being revealed to be the special guest referee. But I think he could make and he could make an appearance for WrestleMania as the special guest referee for his two boys into their match, and we'll possibly will see the main event. Probably see main event Jay finally becoming the main. Finally get the match and finally winning the match, and getting his retribution on his brother for costing him becoming the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. But we're going to move on to the next news now. And we got some, and we're going to end this video with some Becky Lynch news now. As Becky Lynch enters officially announced women's War Games match at Survivor Series, and it says right here, plenty of business was accomplished on WWE SmackDown Friday night with Damage Control officially challenging the team of Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair and Shotzi to a War Games match. At Survivor Series, nudging the team to add a fourth member, then in a surprise to close the show, Becky Lynch accepted an invite to round up the team, setting the stage for a 4-on-4 inside the cage double ring. It had been reported both earlier earlier on Friday and over the weekend the that WWE was considering uh, Lynch for the War Games match, which she was also involved with last year, which was deja vu, of course. Upon the challenge, like per per like purportedly like from EO Sky via translation from Dakota Kai, SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis told Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair and Shotzi they had until the end of the show last night to uh, find find and officially name a fourth member. Belair approached Mia Yim backstage, but following commercial break, like the latter took a beat down, like from Damage Control, like thereby eliminating her from eligibility. Belair would then confide in Zelina Vega, still visibly shooken from Santos Escobar slash the former LWO of the LWO happenings earlier in the evening, but she she too would be disposed by Damage Control shortly thereafter. At, at this point, Belair and Flair and Shotzi seemed desperate, with Flair now urged to make a call for a possible partner, which she did to not did did to no response. Out of time, the trio hit the ring only to be interrupted, only to be or confronted, I should say, by Damage Control, at which point Lynch emerged from the crowd, officially anointing herself as the fourth member of the team. And what do you think about the man Becky Lynch joining Team Belair once again, like back last year in the Go Home show in the opener of Friday Night SmackDown? Y'all let me know about that in the comments down below. And I guess I'll end this video right here. That was your latest wrestling news from the Wrestling Inc. article. And which one was your favorite? And And how do you think how I how how I journalize onto the wrestling news? Sound off in the comments down below. But yeah, that was your wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know. And this was the episode 131, like the wrestling news part 44. Like I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was like of the SNA podcast. And then if you like this video, make sure you hit the big thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell notification so you would be notified when I upload my next video. And for those who's going to be watching Full Gear, I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view and give me y'all and tell me about it in the comments down below. Like probably tomorrow afternoon. Only if I don't have any funds to get the order the pay-per-view, then I would do it at the last minute. I'll gladly go order the pay-per-view at the last minute not the last minute. I was at order the pay-per-view, watch it, and make a recap video, like do a AEW Full Gear review. But I think I'm gonna be starting doing pay-per-views probably at the beginning of 2024 of AEW, like I do with WWE, with WWE's pay-per-view / premium live events. But yeah, I'm gonna. But yeah, I'm gonna say thank you for guys for watching, and I hope you guys will be watching whether episode 132, whether if that being AEW Full Gear or even or even tomorrow night at Wrestling News Part 45, which will be episode episode 132, if not 133 of the SNA podcast. But then again, but yeah, that's only if I can get order the pay-per-view. But anyways, thank you guys joining the video and listening, and I'll see you all either later this evening or tomorrow afternoon. And I hope y'all have a great Saturday, even a great Sunday, aka weekend even. And I'll see you all either way. I'll see you all later on in the next video, wherever that be. But in the meantime, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. Bye-bye, my SNA fans.